Ah, fuck, man. It's connecting into the sequels.
G'day guys and welcome back to Casual Rage. Prepare to start the show, R2. This is where the fun begins. Fuck, man. It's connecting to the sequels. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Casual Rage 163, where we casually rage out about the topics of the week. Of course, there's been a lot, actually. It seems to be all under the radar, but I feel like that's because no one really cares about Star Wars anymore. No one's really talking about Star Wars. The things come up, people do videos. A lot of the videos don't get a lot of views, especially my ones. But yeah, it's been an interesting week. There's been a lot of Star Wars games news that's come out. There's a little bit more news in regards to some of the shows and movies and things like that we will talk about. Obviously, the Rey movie and the title of that, and we'll talk a bit about that. I've got some old school stuff to talk about. I even want to talk about some of the EU and how that sort of relates to the narrative that's being pushed within, well, not just within Star Wars, within all of entertainment, but, you know, obviously specifically Star Wars. And I've got something to share with you guys that I came across this week that I thought was very, very interesting. So prepare for that. We'll probably talk about that very, very soon, actually. Obviously, we've got Seal of the Week. And yeah, it's going to be a good show. I feel it in my bones. It's going to be a good one. But I hope you're all doing well. Let's see who we've got here in the chat. We've got Nitrium. How you doing? Is anyone other than Rhino watching The Bad Batch? That's something that I actually was just sort of mentioning in regards to not a lot of people are talking about Star Wars. You don't see a lot of watch parties. Obviously, Theory's doing his watch parties and everything. Like he'll consistently and keep doing what he's doing with all of that. Especially, you would think with the algorithm and how YouTube is, I would have a lot of recommended, like, you know, episode 4, Bad Batch review, whatever. I'm not seeing really anything. I'm not searching for it either. I will say that. But I'm not seeing a lot of people talking about it. And again, I feel like that's because a lot of people just don't care. You know, it's kind of like I was listening to Theory, Ryan, and Mauler this last week. They were talking about the Bad Batch and stuff like that. And Ryan's watching it. He's not reviewing it. Mauler's watching it. He's not reviewing it. They're just viewing it basically for that stream that they're doing with Theory. But no one's really talking about it. No one really cares anymore. Star Wars has died that much in people's hearts. You know, they can keep pushing out the product. They can keep pushing out the shows and the movies. Well, we haven't seen movies in ages, but they can keep pushing this stuff out. And nobody really cares about it to the point where they feel like it's worth their time to review it, time to edit, all of that sort of thing. There's a lot of time that goes into putting a video together. You know, some take longer than others, depending on the type of video that you want to do. But not a lot of people are watching it. You know, and I appreciate the views that I get, the people that watch and the people that comment. They're fucking, you know, a lot of support there, which is really, really good. And then straight up replies with this or comments with this: is anyone other than Rhino going to watch The Acolyte? With The Acolyte, I feel like a lot of people are going to watch it for all the wrong reasons. The way they've promoted the movie, you saw the stuff from Star Wars Celebration and the way that they're promoting it. It's about a woman. Yes, Queen, yes. Like all of that stuff. And then you got Leslie Headland saying how it's going to reflect her queer life. Nobody gives a shit about that. Nobody cares about that stuff. So people will watch that, and most likely people will review that, but it'll be for all the wrong reasons. It'll be to see what the dumpster fire actually is. You know what I mean? So yes, Nutrium, good to see you. Star Wars Marvel Purist says, I've watched and reviewed the Babbitt. Now, Star Wars Marvel Purist, I was listening in on his stream last night after work. Fantastic. Go and check out his channel. I will be doing, you could say, a collaboration with him, just in regards to some streams, or a stream at least, talking about, we're going to get together after this stream. Unfortunately, he's going to watch Dune too. Good on you. I've heard really good things about it. I'm not a Dune person at all. But then after he finishes that, we might get together and see if we can work out a time, because obviously time zones and everything. But I believe he wants to talk about Plagueis. One of my favorite books. So that's going to be awesome. Go and subscribe to Star Wars Marvel Purist, and you'll probably catch me over there here and there. Force choke the like button. Please do. Please do. We've got Riff. Riff is in the chat. How you doing, Riff? Good to see you. No, Rhino is taking one for the team, so we don't have to. On your Rhino, thank you. Appreciate the support. And good memberships, good members there as well. Thank you for your membership. I appreciate that support as well. Let's see. We've got the Fractured Filter in the chat. Always comes back and watches the replay, and I know that for certain because he's always putting a comment in the chat, or well, you know, in the comment section. So yes, good to see you, Fractured Filter. Tyron Azilla says orbiting the stream at maximum velocity. Awesome. Let's see. Who else have we got here? We got Corey in the chat. Good to see you, Corey. Star Round 7. Good to see you. Mike Hill, the great Mike Hill, another great member. I think I say this a fair bit, but I tell you what, if it wasn't for Mike, I probably wouldn't have half the shit that I've got to talk about. You know, with my full-time job and everything that I do, I don't, like, I pay attention, but I don't have a lot of time to go sourcing a lot of the articles, well, not really articles, the Twitter posts and all of that sort of thing that we talk about. Even a lot of the Seal of the Week nominees come from him. So I appreciate that, Mike, massively. Jared's in the chat. Arrived right at the right time. Yeah. Caw-caw. G'day, nuisance bird. How you doing? We got Pro Jack fan. Hail to you. Fear of FEMA, I see you. Melissa Lord, good to see you as well. Always here. Let me just scroll through a little bit here. My mum calls the Acolyte Acolytes. Okay. Let's see. I remember, just in regards to Dune, I remember watching, like, I don't even know the old Dune. I don't know who made it. I don't know. Like, I've watched bits and pieces of it, but I haven't. I've never really paid a massive amount of attention. Yes, there's the link in the chat for Star Wars Marvel Purists. Please go over and subscribe. Great dude, knows his shit. And even just sitting there listening to him while I was driving home, and he's going through. It was the last. I think it was the 6th comic in the. What's the fucking thing? Why am I blanking on this? Heir to the Empire. Obviously, there was a comic book adaptation of that book, and he was going through it. Really, really cool. Really cool. Blake, yes, good to see you, dude. Tillium. Omega is the Matt Damon of the Bad Batch. Yep. Oh, man. She is... like, we've talked about Mary Sue's. We've talked about Rey Skywalker being a Mary Sue. Mate, I don't think I've ever seen anything like this. And we'll get into it. Obviously, we're going to do a little bit of a breakdown of episode 4. It'll probably roll from the first 3 episodes as well, because basically those first 4 episodes sort of tell its own isolated story in regards to Omega and Crosshair escaping. But yeah. What up, Rhino? Alex, how you doing? Good to see you. And I'm all caught up on the chat. All right, there was something that I actually just thought about before I started the stream that I just want to touch on really quickly, and I didn't really have it in the title. I didn't have it planned to talk about, so I'm just going to quickly talk about this. Bob Iger this week apparently sold off, 80% of his stock, his shares, Disney shares. And I was just sort of thinking about it. I'm like, fuck, what does that tell you about his confidence of increasing the stock again? What happened? What does that mean when somebody liquidates something like that that's so massively involved with this company? What does that tell you about what he thinks the future holds for Disney? Okay, Soul Assassin, Bob Iger knows Disney is done. Well, you got to think that, don't you? You've really got to think that that is why he got rid of his stock. Now, I haven't read anything. I'm just going off like Ryan's videos, Flash video, like a few other people out there that have made videos that I obviously watch. Man, what does that tell you about the future of Disney? I mean, for the last, at least 5 years now, we've seen the Disney stock just crashing. I think 5 or 6 years ago, it was like $200 a share. Now it's like, $90 a share? Last time I sort of heard a report, again, I don't go searching this stuff because I don't really care too much about that. But this is very, very, you could say, relevant and important to the future of Disney. Wouldn't you think? So I just find it incredible and incredibly shocking that the CEO of Disney has no confidence or faith in the fact that Disney can turn the corner and start getting better again, that he decides to sell off his shares. What would happen if everybody was to sell off their shares? What does that mean for the guy that's been, I can't remember his name, help me out, chat, but the guy that's, friends with Elon Musk that is been trying to get on the board or whatever it is? What does that mean for him? Do you guys in the chat think that Disney, under, of course, new management and a full clean out, do you feel like Disney can turn the corner? Do you feel like they can correct their wrongs? Like, I think with Star Wars, I've said this before, there is only one way that Disney can be saved, and that is to decanonize. And that was something that Ryan also, I think Ryan Kennel is on the exact same page with that. No matter whether or not you like this piece of this, this little nugget within the Rebels series, or, this one episode out of The Mandalorian, or whatever it is, this one little scene out of Andor. You've got to decanonize it all. You've got to start from the foundation again of the 6 movies. And I know people like, oh, what about the Clone Wars? Nah, scrap it. Start again. If you do that, and you essentially, like I've said before, reinstate the EU and then either use the EU as your template, keep those as just the books, and then move forward with the stories from where the books left off, or adapt those books, mate, the money will start coming back in again. But the problem is that the people at Star Wars and the people at Disney, people at Lucasfilm, don't think that what they're doing is actually bad. It's progressive, which makes it good, right? Like, you know, identity politics and all of this kind of thing. Go back to what works, the EU, 100%. Oh, man. I wish Disney would sell Fox back to 20th Century Fox. I mean, look, I wish that they would sell Lucasfilm back to George. I mean, that's not going to happen. And obviously there have been rumors out there about that. I wish that they would sell Disney to Lucasfilm to somebody that actually cares. Fuck it. Don't even sell it. At this point in time, it's losing money constantly. Give it to the fucking fans. Just give it to them. I can guarantee you there'd be fans that came in and actually made better Star Wars. Now, you probably have conflict within the fans, especially if you had pronoun people or shippers or whatever. God, those people do my head in. But that actually brings me to my next point. And this is the thing that I was actually saying when I was going through my sort of little intro there in regards to something that I came across this week that was quite interesting. Ever since Disney took over Star Wars, they've been talking about how, you know, we want a newer modern audience. We want to reach out and get these people that we never had before. And those people seem to be the pronoun people, the shippers, the Force is female, like, we've never had like, it's almost like you could never identify with these characters. You know, the Star Wars was always about the patriarchy and that garbage, all of that garbage. You see the pronoun idiots on Twitter. You see the shippers on Twitter. You know, now I have no doubt that the shippers existed before Disney took it over, you know, wanting these characters to hook up and all of this kind of thing, but it was never as massive as it was, as it is now, sorry. You know, with the whole thing with Daisy Ridley and Adam Driver, the shippers went after Adam Driver's wife, wanting him to split up with his wife so that Daisy and Adam could have a real life relationship. How psycho do you have to be to go after somebody like that? They talk about how the original fans went after, you know, all these characters, all these actors and stuff like this from the prequels. These people are 10 times worse. 10 times worse. But for these people to say, oh, it's all about the patriarchy, we were never able to see ourselves, and now under Disney, we can finally see ourselves on the screen and blah, 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 blah. I want to share something with you that's very, very interesting. And it comes from, obviously, I like my audiobooks. They're awesome. Awesome. You can really immerse yourself, use your imagination because of the sound effects, the way they're produced. Really good. Now, obviously, you can read these books. Now, this is from book 4 of the X-Wing series, The Bacta Wars. Chapter 5, and if you're listening through the audiobook, is at the 7-minute mark, basically, of the audiobook. And that is true. I can't read. Take me forever. I just want to play you a little snippet here. You ready? Hopefully the audio comes through okay.
I should also note that the Vratics are neither male nor female. Those roles are played at different times in the life cycle, so referring to Clayern as he or she is inappropriate. Moreover, since the Vratics do constitute something of a low-grade hive mind, they are more comfortable with a plural pronoun, so they and them will have to suffice.
Do you guys hear that all right? The Vratics don't identify as male or female, as they are a low-grade hive mind. Now, you could say that a lot of the pronoun idiots out there, not only are they a low-grade hive mind, but they're a low-grade echo chamber. But that species basically identifies as they and them because of the low-grade hive mind. Yes, OG, that is the Bacta Wars. These people were never actually able to see themselves. What is that? That's from the EU. It's pretty crazy to think that we've never had women in Star Wars. All the women of Star Wars were never actually able to identify with any of the patriarchal male characters. But yet you got Leia, you got Padme, you got some other great female characters, especially through the EU. Jaina Solo, Mara Jade, Mon Mothma, pronoun people. Now, yeah, the women are women and the men are men. But there are species out there that are neither. And yet Star Wars has always been mainly for men. Star Wars has never been able to, I've never been able to identify with Star Wars. These people are stupid. These people are retarded. And these people actually have no idea. They've never fucking come across that. And I've only come across it recently. As soon as I heard it, I was like, whoa. For these people that were never actually able to, they say that they were never actually able to, you could say, identify with Star Wars, resonate with Star Wars, see themselves in Star Wars. You don't need to see yourself in this entertainment. Now, I've seen in my own personal life, I've seen connections between myself and, you could say, Anakin, Vader, and Anakin again, the redemption arc of Anakin. I went through that in a personal sense with drugs and other things in my life. And it was actually Anakin's redemption story that helped me get through it, believe it or not. As stupid as that might sound to some of the people out there, I don't care, because that's what it did for me. You know, even Star Wars Theory, as much as I dislike the guy, not really dislike the guy, but as much as it pains me to listen to some of his takes on Star Wars, especially recently, you know, he had a connection with Anakin. He had a connection with Luke. Helped him through some personal shit in his life. Doesn't mean he saw himself, and it doesn't mean I saw myself on the screen. It's not like I was sitting there watching Anakin or sitting there watching Vader and going, that's me. No. It's the underlying character. It's the underlying thread of the progression of that character. that helped me get through my shit. So I'm either going to make a video out of that or I'm going to clip this part out of this stream and put that out there. Just to prove and point out to these idiots that you clearly have no idea about Star Wars if you think that you can't, in some way, shape, or form, identify with it. I hate that. So yeah, that was my little interesting moment throughout this week. This is very true. Hey, Raging Rhino, the truth is that they never took the time to read the expanded universe of George Lucas. That's right. But see, look, again, I only sort of started reading the expanded universe because of what Disney did. I then realized that everything that I knew, because I did know about Jaina and Jason Solo before I even read about them. But once I realized that we weren't going to get these stories, I'm like, all right, well, I need to read them. I'm never going to see them. I'm never going to see them adapted to the screen. They'll rip shit off, like Mount Tantus, like the name Ben Solo, like the name Jason Syndulla. You can't read, Rhino. Don't lie. Well, when I say read a book, I'm talking about the audiobooks. Yes, you're right. I can't read. I'll lie. Well, I just read your chat, but it's a little bit different. But yeah. All the black community fans of Star Wars, you know, they were never able to see themselves, even though we have black characters, black Jedi. You could say black smugglers with Lando. Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense when you actually look into it and realize how diverse Star Wars was originally. I took a step into a larger universe, yes. But yeah. I hope the audio came through okay. But there you go. It's always had parts of it that I'm sure that these weirdos out there could have identified with. God, I hate even saying shit like that. It's so stupid, though. So freaking stupid. G'day, RB. But let's get into some of the actual topics that I had for this week. Let's see. Where do we start? Let's start with some of the gaming news. Now, obviously, in 14 days or something, we're getting the Battlefront collection. That's coming out, which is going to be pretty awesome, I reckon. But it's funny how Disney, Lucasfilm, Disney, Star Wars can't effectively make money off anything that wasn't their own. Now, I heard about this. Now, I actually had no idea. Honestly, I had no idea that they were making a Mandalorian bounty hunter game. I had no idea that they were actually doing it. But apparently, I was watching Twisted's video. Apparently, they'd actually finished a fair bit of the game. They'd done a lot of missions, a lot of chapters for the game. There was a lot that they'd put out there. There's a lot that they'd made, a lot that they'd actually invested in. And EA has cancelled Respawn's Star Wars FPS. It was rumored to be a Mandalorian bounty hunter game. So they've cancelled it. Again, I actually had no idea about it. Honestly, other than them coming out with possible remakes or remasters and the Cal Kestis stuff, I didn't think that, and the Outlaws game, I didn't think that they were actually doing anything else. They clearly were. Maybe I was sitting under a rock somewhere, but unbelievable. They've just cancelled it. Now, whether or not they eventually bring it back and do something with it, who knows? But wow. Rhino, look up gameplay for Star Wars 1313. It was cancelled when Disney bought Star Wars. I did know about that, and it looked awesome, and I did know that too. But see, I think something like 1313 goes against, especially due to the fact that it was like they started production on that when Lucas still owned it, if I'm not mistaken, based on what you're saying there. I'm believing that's true. And they don't want anything that connects to George's Star Wars. And that's why I say that Disney Star Wars isn't Star Wars, because it's not. It's not what it ever was supposed to be. Did you see the Dark Force remaster release yesterday? It's great. I did hear little bits and pieces about it. I didn't know that it released yesterday. But again, what? A game that... How long ago did that game come out? Essentially, Lucasfilm can only make money off Star Wars that was actual Star Wars. They can only gauge interest from people, fans, and that's what makes me know that the pronoun idiots and stuff like that aren't fans. They never cared. They never cared, and they still don't care. What they care about is fucking seeing themselves on the screen. If I can't identify, it surprises me that people haven't said, "Oh, how dare you put a white straight male with red hair in the new video games? Why don't you make him black? Why don't you make him a black non-binary gay, But then I saw this as well. EA confirms Star Wars Jedi 3 is currently in development. I wonder what's happening with that Outlaws game. I'm certainly not getting it. I'm certainly not interested in playing a game of a female Han Solo. EA confirms Star Wars Jedi 3. Obviously, that could not possibly be the title. Is currently in development. After playing the first and the second one, I'm not playing this one. I'm not buying it. I'm not playing it. You know what I am playing at the moment? Helldivers. I was playing with Lethal last night until like 1:30 this morning. Fucking awesome. So fucking awesome that game is. I reckon I'll be playing that game for a while. A long time. And there's so much. There's so much you can do. There's so much you can unlock. Jedi 3 is only in development because they literally have nothing else. See you all on Battlefront Collection. Yes, that's probably that. I probably will get that. I know that Flash wants to play a bit of that. Play Stargate. I bought it. I never got past the first mission, and I wish I never bought it. It's not that good. Helldivers looks dope as fuck. It is dope as fuck. Yeah, it's basically a rip-off of that, Starship Troopers. A mixture between that and fuck, I don't even know. I'm not like, I used to be a bigger gamer in my younger days. Like, I'm talking 20 years ago. Now, you know, it's not to say that I haven't played games. You guys have watched me play games because I ignore you guys in the chat when I'm playing games. I get so into it that I almost completely forget that you're sort of there. And I do apologize for that. It's not my fault. Well, it kind of is my fault. Yes, no, I have no doubt that, like, Battlefront was pretty cool. Battlefront was actually very cool. But, you know, that's a game that will want to play with other people. You know, and Helldivers is another one of those games. Like, I played when I like first got it. You know, Lethal. I asked Lethal and Mozzie if they wanted to play, and they weren't able to. And Lethal just said, like, play a couple of times, get, you know, level up a little bit, and then hopefully we can get together. And then Mozzie was asleep last night, but I hung out with Lethal for what, like 3 hours or something. Man, I had so much fun. It's so much better when you're playing with other people, you know, so much better. So yeah, can't wait to play more of that. I'll probably play that with Flash as well as Lethal and hopefully Mozza too. But yeah, so like just in regards to Star Wars news, in regards to games, there's poor Lethal. What's wrong, Biggles? You really don't like me anymore. I don't know if you ever did, but dude. That's the Star Wars gaming news. Effectively, they can only make money and they can only get interaction and engagement with older shit. They can only ever get engagement with the older stuff. All right, awesome. It means I like you. I don't get it. Like, people can dislike me, or, you know, if you dislike me, you dislike me. But I thought we got along good, Biggles. But no, that's cool. What was I saying? Yeah. Star Wars games are... I mean, Star Wars in general right now, we all know Star Wars right now is a disaster. It has been for a long time, and I don't see a correction coming anytime soon. And neither does a lot of other people. You know, it surprises me watching like that Theory, Ryan, and Mauler stream that they do now. It's funny to hear the way that Mauler and the way that Ryan talk about the shows and the stuff that they say. And there was one bit in this most recent stream where, you know, Ryan was talking about how nobody there knows anything and they're not doing anything that's sort of even close to Star Wars related. And Theory comes out and says, no, Filoni does. Filoni knows what he's doing. I believe that Filoni knows what he's doing. Filoni knows that he's destroying more and more of the actual Star Wars lore, and he knows it. But his reference of what he needs to do with Star Wars right now is to make the sequels make sense. His mandate, you could say, is to make the sequels make sense. And I don't care how they go about it, the midichlorian blood being transferred, you know, Grogu being a massive part of it down the future, the whole Project Necromancer stuff. It's a joke. It's garbage. And again, it doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, the fact that we've even got Omega as a female clone of Django, the fact that we've got that other Mirren, I can't even fucking remember her name now. No, it's not Mirren. The other female clone of Django. The fact that we've even got those characters. Well, that's why they call it Star Grift. But see, I was hoping that through that stream, and especially through what Mauler and Ryan say, Theory would actually be able to come to terms with the fact that Dave Filoni is a piece of shit and a disloyal hack and doesn't care about George's Star Wars. I don't doubt that Dave Filoni knows his shit. But what I do doubt is the fact that he's adapting what he does know to the screen, to the shows that he's doing. He's certainly not doing that. Filoni swinging that wrecking ball. Fuck yeah. I love watching Ryan educate Theory on Star Wars. Fucking meta. Yeah. Ryan seems like a real Star Wars fan. Me? No. No, Ryan definitely knows his shit. Ryan, out of everyone that I've ever talked to about Star Wars, Ryan seems to be the most knowledgeable. Followed closely, I would have to say, by Lethal. Not that he gives a fuck about it anymore. Carmen Collection. Hello. Oh, sorry, not Collection. Connection. Sorry. Hello. How you doing? No, I know who you meant. But yeah, Ryan seems to be the most knowledgeable person I've ever listened to about Star Wars or even spoken to about Star Wars. And he knows his shit, man. Oh, I've also got to say, closely by this lovely lady right here. She knows her shit too. But this is the thing, like even Stig Kenobi, I haven't spoken to that dude for a while. But like he knows his shit too. I had no idea that your name was Rhino. Yeah. See, that's for the new people that are here that actually don't know, that's the reason for the name of my channel. All my friends for years growing up, as probably from my mid-teens, everyone called me Rhino. Everyone called me Rhino. So hence Raging Rhino. Because Star Wars made me angry. Disney Star Wars made me angry. So it's sort of a play on words. You've got a raging rhino, like the animal, raging. I don't know what that looked like. But then it's raging rhino me. And I'm not usually I'm not an angry person at heart. But like when something like one of my favorite things in the world, one of my favorite franchises in the entire world starts getting destroyed, fuck, that makes me angry. 100% right, Dr. Coffinails. Disney Star Wars is not Star Wars. My username comes from my parrot. That's cool. Is he a nuisance? Lethal will get back to Star Wars if Brie does a project. That's true. That's very true. I thought you did it to not be confused with the other Raging Ryan. Are you talking about Ryan Kennel or are you talking about someone else? Raging Ryan. Is there a Raging Ryan out there? Is there on YouTube? Let's have a look. No, I purely did it because, again, my nickname is, there was a Raging Ryan on Dr. Phil. Oh, they're the things that come up. Oh, there is a channel name called Raging Ryan. Let's take a look. Oh, it looks like a young dude. There you go. 57 subscribers with 51 videos out there. Oh, he doesn't get a lot of views. Huh. Never even knew that. Anyway, that's the Star Wars games news, basically. That's probably been the most out there thing over the last week was, you know, them canceling the Mandalorian Bounty Hunter game, which I also find quite interesting based on the fact that you could say that the Mandalorian was their most, I don't know, liked thing. Their most relevant thing, their most important thing. And then we hear that the Jedi 3, the Cal Kestis stuff is in development. Okay, whoop-de-doo. And then you've got the Battlefront collection, Dark Force, all the older stuff. That's where they're making their money. That's what people care about. So very interesting. So very, very interesting. All right, I better speed this up because I do have an appointment with the bank at around 3:30. It's just a phone appointment because I'm hopefully going to refinance or remortgage the house so that I can get some money to do a few things. I'm not going to go into massive detail on it, but one of those things is to get over to America, hopefully around October, spend some time with Flash, and hopefully meet a few other people, make a bit of a trip out of it, a bit of a holiday out of it. I definitely want to go meet some people in Florida. So yeah, that's the plan, Stan. And especially after, I think most of you know or remember, if you were here, my hot water system cost me $5,500 to fix all of that. Got to sort that out. So I'm hoping to consolidate a bit of that into some of the shit that I'm getting, but I'm not going to go into detail. Other than that, yeah, just get my hands on some fucking money. I need some fucking money at the moment. It's been killer. Yes, maybe I can meet up with you, Melissa. Meet you in person. That'd be cool. Ain't the interest rates high there? Yeah, they are. But with my job, I've been able to, surprisingly enough, sort of stay on top of my mortgage pretty well. The interest rate that I'm paying now, it shouldn't really affect the rate that I'm paying. If anything, I'm actually hoping to get that dropped a little bit because I'm paying a fucking massive amount of interest. In the last 2 years, yeah, about that. In the last 2 years, my interest rate has doubled, if not doubled and a bit from what it was sort of, mid-COVID or before COVID. Crazy. My mortgage payment went up by like $500, something like that a month, which is it stings, man. It does. It really fucking stings. But yeah, hopefully we can sort something out and I can get over there. I was hoping to get over there, obviously, for Anna's wedding early, beginning of February. That wasn't able to happen. And, now I'm in a position where hopefully I can do a bit of consolidation and have a little bit of extra cash left over so that I can organize this trip, which will be really, really cool. And hopefully I still get to meet Anna. She's actually one of the people that I really want to go and see. She's such a great friend. She's been awesome to me. She helped get my channel monetized. She's the reason why I'm on Flashcast. She has done and we obviously probably this year it's probably been the least amount of time that we've actually gotten together and talked. We talk a fair bit, hang out a fair bit on and off stream, which is really cool. She's a great friend. She's awesome. Maybe I'll get to meet Peaches as well. Should be good. All right, let's get rid of these tabs. So that's all the gaming stuff. That's pretty much all that done. Let's take a look. Let's just touch on this, and then we'll start to go into some of the Bad Batch shit. Again, I need to I keep saying, like I just said, I need to sort of speed up a little bit because I got this appointment, and then I slow down. Oh, God. Yeah, she is. She's awesome. All right. Let's see here. Let me bring this up. So there was this. It got fucking nipped in the buds pretty much straight away. To say that it wasn't real. I mean, I don't care what they call this fucking movie. I should blow this up a little bit, actually. So Lucasfilm has confirmed that the working title for the Rey movie is New Jedi Order, a ripoff, of course, from the EU, just to try and keep some of the original actual Star Wars fans engaged in this fucking disaster of a movie that's coming. But the rumor, the rumored. But it should say the rumor. Anyway, the rumored episode 10, they're going to, man, if they call it episode 10, that's their first big mistake. But calling it a new beginning for what? So this is saying that is categorically incorrect. Right? But that's the rumor that came out. That they're calling it episode 10, a new beginning. I'd be more inclined to call it episode 10, the newest dumpster fire. That works. The new beginning. You know what they should just call it? Rey Skywalker. Because everything that they come out with right now, Mandalorian, Ahsoka, fucking Andor, everything is just the title is the main character's name, basically. The Bad Batch. I mean, the Bad Batch, that's probably okay. At least they didn't call it Hunter or Star Wars Hunter, Wrecker, Tech, Echo, Crosshair, Omega. Imagine that as a title. That's a good one. Episode 10, a new coffin. I mean, look, to be honest, I don't fucking care. I don't care what they call it. Actually, yeah, no, that's right. It actually should have just been called Star Wars Omega. I'm going to explain why very, very soon. Anyway, that's again, they're saying that it's incorrect. Who fucking knows? And who really fucking cares? They could call this thing the New Jedi Order, and the EU people are going to be pissed. They're not going to go see this. A lot of the Star Wars fans aren't going to see this anyway because it is what it is. It's Rey Palpatine. Teams up with Omega and Grogu and Ahsoka and Mando and Bo-Katan and cameo and cameo and cameo and cameo. That's what I foresee. That's a good one too. Episode 10, same old shit. LOL, I approve that title. Rey Solo movie, now called All Power. Oh, man. I can't wait for that. I also can't wait for the Acolyte, to be honest. Let me just have a look at this and see why I put this here. Okay, that's why I put it there. See, this came out on the 16th, so I wasn't sure whether or not we'd actually talked about this before, but I'm going to bring it up anyway because it's going to be pretty relevant to what I go into. And I've talked about this anyway. I talked about this in season 2, how they're basically connecting the Bad Batch to the sequels and the overall story. Episode 10, All the Jedi. Return of Mary Sue Palpatine. I like that one too. The Serial Awakens. Yes. That's awesome. It all leads to the Disney trilogy. That is absolutely 100% correct. Actually, that calls for this.
Fuck, man. It's connecting into the sequels.
I don't know if you got an echo there. You might have, because I hope you got audio even. All right, let's take a look at this. Exclusive. The Bad Batch Season 3 connects to other Star Wars stories and lore like never before. Executive producer Jennifer, and Brad discuss their collaborations with Dave the Hack Filoni and the Lucasfilm Story Group on the new season. Now, Mount Tantus, we've seen Fennec Shan, we've seen Asajj Ventress, and all the cloning stuff. I think that's why they're bringing that up, because yes, that is all correct. It all leads to the sequel trilogy, right? So we're getting some pretty big and pretty major connections, and especially with this season, with everything that they did in that 3rd episode, you see some pretty big connections to it. What was this one? When was this? Oh, this was the 15th. We may have talked about this. The Bad Batch producer, Brad, has teased Asajj Ventress' future after season 3. There may be future answers down the road in something else. Okay, awesome. Thanks. Oh, we don't want that yet. Okay, so that's just some of the headlines, you could say, for what's going on with the Bad Batch. So let's actually talk about the Bad Batch. Let's get into this. So far, Bad Batch Season 3, for me, has been quite boring. The fact that it attaches to the sequel trilogy, Haha, Garfield's. No way. You're kidding. That's why the LOL. It's a joke. I was talking about how much Omega is a Mary Sue. Let me give you the first 4 episodes of season 3, basically in a nutshell. Omega's roaming around and allowed to roam around Tantus, the facility that they've got there, with no guards, nothing. She can just roam around and essentially do what she wants within reason, I guess. She's constantly talking to Crosshair. She's there for, we see the big time jump in that first episode. Goes from 21 days to approximately 150 days. So she's been there for what, a third of a year, roughly. And that's basically the first episode. I don't know if in that first episode she releases that dog or anything like that. But anything that she basically wants to do, she can do without any consequences, you could say. Episode 2, Hunter and Wrecker, without Echo or anyone else. Stop. Fucking computer's buzzing. In episode 2, they find a couple of younger clones and they end up taking them back to the island or whatever, which we didn't actually see them take them back to the island, but that's what they said that they were going to do. And they get a little bit of information from the old facility that Hemlock was working out of to find out basically the system, you could say, that the new facility's in. Which at the end of the day means nothing. It actually retroactively made episode 2 a filler episode. Now you could say, and I'll actually let me get to that. There's one reason why episode 2 may not be a filler episode. But based on where we are right now, it retroactively made episode 2 a filler episode. Because Ahsoka is the one that gets Crosshair out of the facility. She's the one that pilots the ship. She's the one that escapes. She's the one that has all the answers. You know, I did find it funny, and it was something that Ryan and that were talking about on that stream, was the ray shields that they bought up as they were exiting the tunnel that the dog gets released through. And it's really funny how there was like, 15 ray shields, but they start from the back, not from the front. Or they start from the front, not from the back, depending on how you look at it, I guess. But like, as they're running out, the ray shields are closing behind them, right? Instead of closing the first one and then maybe closing them back that way. And why do you need so many ray shields? Just have one right at the exit of the mountain or whatever. It's stupid. It's just to try and build some sort of suspense, I guess. So that's episode 3. Then in episode 4, they made Crosshair a bitch. They cucked Crosshair. His abilities are completely not needed. And guess who gets them out of every situation? Everything happens perfectly for Omega. Crosshair wants to just go running in, blasting, right? To try and maybe steal a ship or get on a transport ship or something like that. After they crashed the ship that they escaped in, surprisingly with no injuries whatsoever to either of them, I'll say that. But, and this is where maybe episode 2 isn't a filler episode, because Omega was saying how she needs to get the information out of the ship, the crashed ship, so that they can go back to Tantus to save all the other prisoners. She's so kind-hearted. And Crosshair's like, we're not going fucking back there. So maybe because they weren't able to get that information out of the ship, they're going to get the information that they're going to use the information that Hunter and Wrecker got from episode 2 to basically try and get back to the facility, to try and get back to Tantus, to try and find the planet, because they don't know exactly where the planet is, to free the prisoners, free the other clones. Stupid. In the meantime, Hemlock is trying to track Omega because, of course, Omega's blood is the key to their success of whatever cloning shit that they're doing. This is basically the key to the success of Project Necromancer. But Omega, basically tries to bribe the person running the shipyard or the dock. And they're willing to take the bribe, but it's going to cost them 30,000 credits, 15,000 credits each. And they're not going to charge you for the hound, so you're lucky. But they got 0. They got nothing. So what happens? They go into a bar, and Omega starts gambling. By the way, she starts gambling with 0 credits. She's got nothing. So that means that she certainly didn't lose the first game because she ended up with some credits. But it certainly seems like with how, the time jump, the slight time jump that they put in there, mate, she's raking in the credits. She's either cheating or she's just really fucking good. So she ends up at the end of all of that with 45,000 credits. Now, she ends up playing an Imperial guy. Now, the funny thing is, too, is the Imperial guy says that when they finish playing, that she needs to pay a fine because gambling is illegal in these parts. Why didn't they make the guy that they kicked off the table so that the Imperial guy could play with Omega, the original guy that was playing with her, why didn't they find him? Why'd they just let him leave? Why was he allowed to be sitting there gambling with stormtroopers in that building, by the way? It's stupid. It's a stupid narrative. And the thing is that, maybe he was just making it up so that he could get some of his credits back off Omega that he lost. Yeah, okay. It could be an element of that. But it seemed really conveniently stupid that that's why, she needed to pay a fine. So after playing what's the lizard species name? Anyway, doesn't even really matter. She's playing him. She wins credits off him. The Imperial guy comes and sits down. How about a real game or playing against a real player? She plays him. She wins and wins and wins and wins and wins. Like I said, she ends up with 45,000 credits. She has to pay a fine because gambling's illegal. So she pays a 10,000 credit fine. Gives him the 10,000 credits because she knows that she's still got enough to get off planet, get off world, through her bribery. And then she exits the building. While she's exited the building, she notices that her hound, Besha, has disappeared. The little kid that's sitting outside there goes, "Hey, I know where this Kendra, thank you. I know where your hound is, but it's going to cost you." She's like, "How much?" 10,000 credits. And then Crosshair steps in and goes, "This is ridiculous." And he's like, all right, 5,000 credits. She's like, "Okay, no worries. We've still got it. After I give you my 5,000 credits, we've still got 30,000 credits to pay the bribe to get on our ship and escape." Right? Conveniently enough, 45,000 credits very quickly dwindles down to the exact 30,000 credits that they need to leave. But they give the 5,000 credits to the kid, and he's like, "Yeah, the Imperial guy, he left and he took your hound and he went that way." It's like, why did I pay you? I just paid you 5,000 credits for stupid information. And Crosshair's like, "We've got enough credits. Let's get out of here. Don't worry about the dog. Don't worry about the hound. Omega's like, no, my little dog, I need to go get him. And she, like, basically, after giving the kid the 5,000 credits, she's still got 30,000 credits, right? Right? Crosshair's like, I want to leave. What does Omega do? She gives Crosshair the entire... He only needs 15,000 credits to fulfill one ticket bribe, like a one ticket out of there, bribe to the shipyard operator. But she gives him the entire 30,000 credits and goes, fine, you go and I'll find my own way. How about you give him 15,000 credits, say, all right, I'm going to go get my dog, right? If you want to leave, here's your 15,000 credits. There's your ticket. Get the fuck out of here. I'm going to keep my 15,000. And once I got my dog, I'm going to go back and fucking pay my way out of here. No, gives him the entire 30,000 credits. Why? Because we all know, because it's so predictable, that Crosshair isn't going to fucking leave. Despite what he said in that other episode. So, of course, Crosshair takes like 2 steps after Omega runs off without any credits. And just as she's about to jump the fence, Crosshair gets there and goes, all right, we'll do it your way. Here's the 30,000 credits. So they jump the fence and they're fucking got like fucking these cages. It looks like the pterodactyl cage from the first Jurassic Park, and it's moving and it's making the exact same sounds like a fucking pterodactyl. But they've got all these other cages. They've got all these animals just in an Imperial fucking shipping yard, fucking whatever you want to call it. What for? Who knows? But they sort of break in, they jump the fence, they get in there, and Omega's trying to find her dog. Finds her dog eventually. No. I'm talking about the beginning scene of Jurassic Park 1. You know, when they're trying to put the pterodactyl in the thing and the clamp comes apart and the guy gets sort of sucked in. Jurassic Park 1. Anyway, they get in there and they get detected. The big Imperial guy goes, oh, we took your animal. Oh, raptor. What was I saying? Pterodactyl. Sorry, I meant raptor. Sorry, my bad. Yes, that was a raptor. You are correct. I'm retarded. So yeah, they get busted by the Imperial guy that she was playing gambling with. I don't know what game they were playing, whether or not it was I don't know. Anyway, where was I? He says, oh, you don't have a license to have this animal as a pet. It's going to cost you a fine. She's like, how much? Every time somebody says it's going to cost you or it's a fine or whatever, how much? Anyway, he goes, well, I may as well just take all my credits back from you because once Hemlock gets here, because they detect the crashed ship, once Hemlock gets back here, we're going to just hand you over anyway. So any credits that you've got are going to mean nothing anyway. So you may as well just give them back. And then Omega's like, finally, to Crosshair, all right, let's do it your way. And he's like, finally, and just starts blasting away. Whoa, excuse me. Whoa. While he's blasting away, of course, Omega walks over to this massive terminal, right? And all she has to do is push one button, and guess what happens? Stampede! Stampede! All the cages open, and all the animals come flying out, and guess who the only people are that they interrupt? The Imperials. They don't get in the way of Crosshair. They don't get in the way of fucking Omega. Omega gets her dog back, and guess what? She's got her 30,000 credits still, and they exit, stealing one of their ships from their shipyard. Not even needing the 30,000 credits to get out of there anymore. Omega pilots that ship sends a transmission to Hunter, a coded transmission to Hunter and Wrecker to meet up on this planet. They meet up on the planet. They have an emotional hug, kissy moment. Hi, Daddy. Hi. I missed you. It's been a long time. We never stopped searching for you. Well, I didn't just get, and like Hunter asked, how did you get out of there? I did it with help. And then Crosshair walks sort of out of the ship, and Wrecker like, that's where the episode ends. So this is my point in regards to how much of a Mary Sue Omega is. Nothing that Hunter, Wrecker, or Crosshair did affected Omega's ability to escape and escape and escape and escape. Like everything that she did was success. The gambling, the escaping Tantus in the first place, the piloting of both ships. It was all her. The sending the transmission, the meeting up with them. It was all her. Nothing that any of the actual Bad Batch crew guys did changed anything in regards to Omega's ability to escape or get the fuck out of there. Nothing. I'm sorry, but to me, that's the definition of a Mary Sue, right? She didn't face controversy. She's got this attitude, like it's like with the fines and stuff. How much? How much? I'm sorry. Like, it's fine for people to like stuff. I just need to make a comment in regards to this. I know you address it to Tarazilla, but what do you think about Tales of the Jedi? That looks pretty good. I'm sorry, but that's destructive in itself. Not only did Dave Filoni destroy and retcon the Ahsoka novel that Disney did with the Ahsoka arc in that story, but then also fucked up Count Dooku and Qui-Gon Jinn in that story, and Yaddle. Gave all the fucking retards on Twitter the fuel to say, see, Yoda's just a retard. He was just knocking around, talking in riddles the way he does. Yaddle throughout the entire EU talks the same way that Yoda does because it's a part of their species. But yet Yaddle just talks normally in Tales of the Jedi. So again, if you enjoy it, good for you. I don't want to destroy, I don't want to destroy anybody's enjoyment. But to me, it's not Star Wars. Hey, I'm honestly, unlimited power, please. I'm not taking any shots at anyone specific. But yeah, it did do damage. And that's the lens that I'm viewing a lot of Disney Star Wars through, because Dave Filoni is a complete and utter hack. It's all Dave Filoni shit. And again, it's that whole thing that they rip off, the title from the EU as well. How did I like the episode of The Bad Batch? I hated it. In a nutshell, I fucking hated it. If you want, go back roughly half an hour. That's when I start talking about The Bad Batch and this most recent episode. Obviously, rolling through from the other episodes, but also too, you can check out my my actual reviews, my videos. They're up on the channel. They're live and ready to go. But that is, in a nutshell, my thoughts on this last episode of The Bad Batch. They're just making Omega more and more a Mary Sue. And again, her blood is the only blood that has tested positive for the midichlorian count shit that they're trying to do to justify the sequels. Okay, Tim. Oh, where? No. Fuck. Is that Tim? No. It's our urban airlock policy. It's got the spacing. That's why I said it. So yeah, that's basically open airlock policy is no more. Oh, so it is you, Tim. I didn't know that. Cool. Cool. The USA. Yes. All right. Let me do I think the Ray movie is cancelled or not? Has there been rumors that it was cancelled? I know there was a couple of weeks ago or like a month ago or something. No, I don't think it's cancelled. I don't think that they're going to either. I don't think they're going to prance fucking Daisy Ridley out. She's obviously now under some sort of contract or something. They're not going to prance her out at Star Wars Celebration to cancel her movie. No way. No way. Imagine what that would do to the narrative of Lucasfilm through the mainstream media. No way. There were rumors that it was cancelled. Are you talking like a little while ago? Do I care at all about the Dune films? Are you going to go and see part 2? No, I never saw part 1. I'm not a massive Dune person. My extent of Dune is that like 90s game. One where you just send out your harvesters and shit like that. That was a lot of fun back in the day. Holy shit. Tim, for $3.50, says Jacob is on the spacing tomorrow. Tomorrow night, be there. Fucking oath, be there. In the past, there were rumors. Yeah, no, I heard about those rumors. I don't think so. That man, Tim, that's going to be fucking epic. I'm always at work when Tim starts the spacing, but usually I get to listen in like on my drive home. And then usually by the time I actually get home or not long after I get home, he sort of ends the stream. But yeah, no fucking way. That's going to be a good one. Man, you got to ask him, like, how can you say that every new thing that comes out is your new favorite or the new best thing ever in Star Wars? How do you rank that? Something along those lines. All right, so now that we've talked about the Bad Batch and we've gone through all of that, what time are we? 2 o'clock. All right, we've still got a little bit of time. Okay, am I excited? If I'm a Star Wars fan, Marvel fan, yes, I am a Marvel fan. I'm an X-Men fan. My favorite X-Man is Gambit. He's fucking awesome. Am I excited for Deadpool and Wolverine? I wouldn't necessarily go so far to say I'm excited. I'm interested to see what they do. But especially due to the fact that it's now, especially under the Disney banner, I don't have a lot of hope for it. But we will have to wait and see. I know I know there's a lot of people that talk about not giving money to Disney and stuff like that. I do like the Deadpool movies. I think the first one's the best one. Second one's not too bad either. And this third one, I probably will go and see it in theaters. I don't know. It depends on whether or not I get a free ticket and whether or not that free ticket is like a good enough copy to watch. So we'll have to wait and see in regards to that. But I wouldn't go so far to say I'm excited for it. It's kind of like with the X-Men 97, right? Certainly not excited for that, especially with some of the things and some of the things they've been saying and how they've been promoting the continuation of that animated series. But it did actually make me go back and start rewatching the original animated series. And fuck, I've been enjoying rewatching that again. A lot of things that I'd actually forgotten, like, whoa, incredible. And it actually showed me how much they'd changed in a lot of the X-Men movies too. But yeah, not. I wouldn't go so far to say I'm excited. There's not much really that I'm excited for. And the thing is that the studios that have been making a lot of the entertainment recently haven't given me any reason to be excited for it. Anything, really. G'day, Valley Law. How you doing? Oh, no. No. One of the shittest movies I think I've ever seen. And I didn't pay to see that either. I did get my free ticket from Flash. Thanks, Flash. Smoke weed like a real man. Used to. I used to. Yeah. Imagine Jacob going onto one of Melvin's streams. He'd rage quit. Yeah, probably. And if he came on my stream, he'd probably rage quit too. That's cool. That's very cool. In a year or so, you will be listening to my first audiobook read by me. That's going to be cool. All right. So I came across this, and I actually had no idea that this was a thing. Let me know if you guys knew that this was an actual thing. But we've got the audition tape for Kurt Russell to play Han Solo in Star Wars. I had no idea. No idea. I mean, I must admit, like, original Star Wars is before my time. You know, I'm an early 80s baby. And obviously Star Wars was late 70s, so I didn't actually know about this. So let's give this a watch.
Speed. 3, take 1.
All the data banks in R2 are still secure.
Huh. And I think we're due the reward you offer. And it had better be pretty substantial after what we've gone through.
When R2 has been safely delivered to my forces, you will get your reward. You have my guarantee.
What's that little droid carrying around that's so blasted important?
That little droid is carrying around the plans and specifications to a battle station with enough firepower to destroy an entire system. Oh, Christ.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Cut. Speed. 3, take 2.
All the data banks in R2 are still secure.
And I think we're due the reward you offered. And it had better be pretty substantial after what we've been through.
When R2 has been safely delivered to my forces, you will get your reward. You have my guarantee.
What's that little droid carrying that's so blasted important?
That little droid is carrying the plans and specifications to a battle station with enough firepower to destroy an entire system. Our only hope in destroying it is to find its weakness, which we will determine from the data I've stored in R2. Look, you see, we captured the plans in a raid on the Imperial shipyard, but we fell under attack before I could get the data to safety. So I stored it in this R2 unit and sent him off.
So where are you taking us to now, anyway?
To the fourth moon of Yavin. I've given the coordinates to Chewbacca.
Will they let us go? They're tracking us. They want to find your bases so they can destroy the system.
Interesting. Just watching that, I will say I'm glad he didn't get the part. I like Kurt Russell, but yeah. This not so much happier that they went with Harrison, despite the fact that apparently he hates the role and he hates the character and he hates Star Wars. No, I haven't seen it. No. Let's see. Is it on Twitter? Is it this? Is this what you're talking about? Is that snow? There's a lot more audition shown in Empire of Dreams. Okay. Also, it's not called Superman Legacy anymore, just Superman. Is that the image? That seems to be it. All right, we watched Kurt Russell. Let's see here. Okay. So I just saw this. Hayden Christensen says he loved the Phantom Menace. He says, I watched the film and I loved it. It was everything I wanted and more. And I don't understand the disconnect between the movie that I saw and the negativity in some of the reviews. I just want to remind everybody that the internet wasn't really a massive thing, if it even was a thing back then, Phantom Menace days. Is it? Anyway, social media wasn't what it was today. And a lot of the negativity came from the critics. A lot of the bullying of actors and everything came from the critics. And that has actually come out of the mouths of the people that were criticized. You know, I'm sick of this narrative that there was so much negativity for the prequels. I mean, I love the prequels. Yeah, look, there's a couple of things there. They have their issues. But in regards to it tying into the overall story, it did a good enough job. It did a good enough job. You know, and I really feel like Hayden Christensen, since now being a part of Star Wars again, has sort of gone off the rails in regards to the narratives that Disney Lucasfilm want pushed. You know what I mean? And I'm getting over it. I'm really starting to get over it. Fucking the prequels are 10 times better. 10 times better than sequels. And I don't think that the sequels being as bad as they were enhanced the prequels. I don't think it made the prequels, in my eyes, it didn't make them any better. They were already good. I know I know of Mr. H. Mr. H reviews. A reviewer named Mr. H gave Hayden some flack this morning over his comments. Well, that's the thing. He's now starting to get onto that bandwagon. You know, oh, they're giving me work. I might just notice this. They're giving me work. I might just start pushing that narrative. There's something for you, actually, Tim. That's another thing Jacob will bring up. He'll say it was the fans that ruined Jake Lloyd and Ahmed Best. All right, let's move right along. Fucking Acolyte news. Mandela Stenberg says the upcoming Disney Plus series will take fans to a tranquil time in the faraway galaxy. Okay. I personally think it's going to take us to a place where it is just going to destroy more and more of the lore and more and more Star Wars. Fuck, the next character based on this, the next character that we're going to get seen destroyed, cucked, whatever, is Yoda. Star Wars is gay. Disney Star Wars is gay. Star Wars is great. Disney Star Wars is fucking gay. Mr. H gave Hayden flack because Mr. H hates the prequels. Well, that's his opinion. And thinks it's ridiculous to defend them. Okay. I don't think they're that bad. But yeah, the Acolyte is going to do it's going to be a shit show, man. Not only is it going to be a woke piece of garbage with all the shit that they've promoted and how they've promoted it, but it's also just going to be destructive. That's all I foresee happening. Have you seen the People versus George Lucas documentary? No, I haven't. Might have to check that out. Anyway, that's all I really wanted to say on the Acolyte. You know, it's coming, despite what Sparrow thinks, despite what Stephanie Janisek thinks, despite what Doomcock thinks. It's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. That's all I really wanted to say about the Acolyte. What is this? Just a little bit of news. We'll flick through a couple of these really quickly here. So Andor season 2 will release late 2024, early 2025. It's interesting that they don't actually have a time lockdown, especially being the fact that it's apparently going to be coming out late this year or early next year. According to Stellan Skarsgård. Okay. All right. Let's see what season 2 does to the lore. I mean, season 1, despite it probably being, yes, one of the better things that Disney has actually done, is still not good. You know, it's still got its connections. You know, they mentioned Canto Bight. There's a couple of other things in there that it has connections to the sequels. But also too, like the characters, like Mon Mothma, big time. The fact that Bail Organa isn't in it, and Bail Organa doesn't seem to be the main driving force of the rebellion forming or anything like that. Would not surprise me in the slightest if we see Ahsoka in season 2. Would not surprise me in the slightest if we see Omega in season 2. Wouldn't surprise me in the slightest if we end up getting a cameo from Grogu in season 2. So there's that news. Now, this is all to do with the Mandalorian Grogu movie. It is currently unclear if Pedro Pascal will reprise his role as Din Djarin in the Mandalorian Grogu movie. Filming will begin in California late this year. But then straight off that, we've got this. Space Miyagi on if he'll be in the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. Fingers crossed. I don't even know. I didn't even know they were doing a movie until just recently. Well, neither did anybody else, really. They announced it in January this year. Why? So that they could take all the attention off the fucking retarded Charmin Obaid-Chinoy's comments. But I would be insane to say no to that. Of course, I would love to be there. Of course you would. You're the only X-Wing pilot in the entire galaxy at the moment. And then there was also this. This is obviously separate. Star Wars, The Rise and Fall of the Galactic Empire is coming soon. The upcoming DK release by historian Dr. Christopher Kempshell, don't know, is an in-universe history book about the Empire by Demont Kin, Dominic. I can't pronounce that. Montagues? I don't know. This character from The Rise of Skywalker. The character from The Rise of Skywalker. Who's buying that? Who fucking cares about that? Oh, man. So they're canceling all these Star Wars games. Fucking we're getting continuations of the sequel trilogy. We're getting connections so that the sequel trilogies can make sense, and they're releasing stupid fucking books like this. Cool. Fucking cool. No one cares, man. No one cares. You know, that book is going to sell just as badly as fucking the High Republic stuff. High Republic stuff doesn't sell. Let's get rid of these tabs. And I saw this from IGN. Now, this is separate from Star Wars for a second. Just if we can put Star Wars aside for 2 seconds here. And I just fucking IGN, fucking the narrative that gets pushed out there. with one hairstyle, black video game characters are being reduced to a single template. I don't think it's any kind of secret that different cultures and different races, you could say, have uniquenesses to them. Uniquenesses? Close enough. One of those things for a lot of black people is their hair. You know, they either have the option to shave it all off, just have, you know, sort of be half bald, maybe have a bit of hair sticking out, little bits. But this is just ridiculous. This is them being racist. What are they supposed to do? What are they supposed to do? Is your hairstyle a choice, Rhino? Nope. Nope. Anyway, I saw that. I thought it was ridiculous. Fuck you, IGN. So stupid. That's what you feel like you should be reporting on? Okay. Okay. Let's see. Now, I've got to do Seal of the Week, and I do have to wrap this stream up. Unfortunately, it's going to be a little bit shorter than we normally go. But let me see, because I've got one too many seals here. All right, we're going to get rid of that one. I made the decision myself. Oh, is Jacob a nominee this week? We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. All right, here we go, guys.
I'm all the Jedi.
Hey, would you look at that? Would you look at that? Of course, Jacob gets a nomination. Of course, he gets a fucking nomination. Here we go. Nominee number 1 is Jacob. Super late to the party, but the latest episode of The Bad Batch once again absolutely rocks. Yeah, you heard how I was talking about it, and you heard what I was saying about it. How the Bad Batch guys, the guys in the Bad Batch, have had nothing. They've had nothing to do with anything. It's all been Omega. It's all been Omega. Love how tense and emotional this season already is, just 4 episodes in. Don't want to spoil anything, but the ending is this. But the ending to this specific episode was everything. Can't wait for next week. You know, I can already picture Jacob was bawling his eyes out. Omega runs over and gives Wrecker a hug, and they're both crying. Both Wrecker and Omega are both crying, and then Hunter comes out, and she runs over and gives Hunter a hug, and Hunter's like, "We never stop searching for you." I have no doubt. Yes, I have no doubt that Jacob was bawling. Sobbing, in fact. Wait, who's Jacob? He's just a Disney shill. Just a Disney fucking shill that comes out and says every fucking week that or every time there's a new thing, it's like, this is the best Star Wars. No, this is the best Star Wars. Next thing comes out, this is the best Star Wars. Valley Law asks, are you going on Jack? Probably not, because like the reason why I've got to end the stream early is because I've actually got a fair bit of stuff that I need to get done. So probably not this week, to be honest. But thank you for the $2, Valley Law. I appreciate that. I do like going on Jack's show, actually. It's a lot of fun. Nominee number 2 comes from Spider-Man 3 Enjoyer. Pronouns, she, they, hashtag be peace. Okay, people be like, this fan film is better than anything Disney Star Wars has ever done or ever made, which is true. It actually is better than anything that Disney Star Wars has ever done. And it's literally just a video of a poorly deep-faked Sir Alec Guinness getting punched repeatedly and flung across a corridor for some reason. This is just one of those fucking pronoun retards that was never really a Star Wars fan in the first place. This is one of the new modern audiences that Disney wanted to culminate. And you know what? Like, it's a fan film, man. Enjoy it. Oh, and then people will say to me, oh, it's just Disney Star Wars, right? Enjoy it. Like, okay, very different. But to criticize a fan film because a lot of fans are saying that this fan film is better than Disney Star Wars, well, it is. It's because the fans can make better Star Wars. And you're just a little bitch. Just a little fucking bitch. So that's nominee number 2. Nominee number 3 is Dan. Dan is back in town. When Moff Gideon suggests the Imperial Remnant needs new leadership, Hux replies with, Project Necromancer is in place for that. Project Necromancer exists to give the Emperor new leadership. It all makes sense. Yes, they're trying to make it make sense within the Disney Star Wars canon. Project fucking Necromancer, what a joke. So that's nominee number 3. And then nominee number 4 is from Darth Thunder. Says Brie Larson is literally ready for the role of Ava Chris from the High Republic for the High Republic movie. Give it to her, Disney. All right. No one cares about that character. No one wants to see that character. All right, let me put the poll in the chat. Seal of the week. 3 and 4. Poll is in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. So, nominee number 1, nominee number 2, nominee number 3, and nominee number 4. I don't have a video to watch because, again, I don't have time. I'm sorry. But what we will do is we'll just play a little clip. Due to the fact that Tim is going to have Jacob on his stream, we will play one of the moments. I can't remember exactly what stream. This might have been from a Casual Rage, actually. A while ago. But yeah, this one's for you, Tim.
I'll fix it. A little bit more. Turn a little bit more to the.
that better?
There it is. There it is.
I gotta see what I look like on the playback.
You're fine. It's fine. You want to sit in your bed?
I'm missing my bottom teeth, and I've got a triple chin.
Derp. Derp.
I make Star Wars.
He looks like Kramer addressing Newman.
He does. He does. He looks like he's like, Tim, what the fuck? Oh my god, that's great though, Tim. That's great, man.
Yeah, I'll fix yours right.
Birds of Prey is going to deal with the misogynistic crowd that you guys have to deal with on a daily basis. I'm missing my bottom teeth.
I'm gonna have a heart attack. I
know. Oh my god, dude. Rhino looks like he's gonna take a bite out of Tim's head. Nom 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 nom.
Yeah. Hey Tim, that ear looks quite delicious.
Oh boy.
Hey, I like the way you style your hair. It's kind of cool.
Man.
Oh my god, dude. Holy shit. Wow. Oh, that's
Are you
fantastic.
semi-bisexual like me? You can be a part of our alphabet squadrons. Yes, the alphabet squadron. It was actually from the Raging Geek Jedi show. That was fucking ages ago. Fuck, that was funny. So fucking funny. You never actually fixed that picture either, did you, Tim? All right. Giving you guys enough time to vote in the poll. Late 2020, yep. Fucking that was funny. Are you semi-bisexual like me? That was a great one. All right. Let me bring up the nominees again. 1, Jacob. 2, we'll just say she, they. 3 is Dan, and Darth Thunder is number 4. How many votes do we have? 21, 23. Oh, we need a couple more. Come on, chat. Come on, chat. There's 43 of you here. Smash the like button after you do that too. Come on. Come on. 24. 1, Jacob. 2, she, they. 3, Dan. 4, Darth Thunder. Oh, it's separated. All right. I think we got enough. We got 25. That's good enough. That's good enough, chat. All right. We're going to end the poll. Let's see the results. Here we go. In last place with 11% of the vote is number 3. Dan, you came back and you lost. Sorry, man. Oh, I must admit, it's average. Average take. In comparison to the others. At least we'll say that. In second last place, or third place, depending on how you look at it, with 23% of the vote, was number 4. Darth Thunder, Brie Larson, ready to play the role of Ava Chris. In second place, this week's runner-up, Jacob, you just didn't make it by a bee's dick. With 28% of the vote was Jacob. And the winner of this week's Seal of the Week is, we'll just say it, she, they. Congratulations on your successful win. You are this week's Seal of the Week.
Jedi.
Oh, that's funny. There'll be no democracy on the spacing. Jacob will be selected. Yes. All right, guys, that's pretty much it. We've gone for 2 hours. Normally, we obviously would go a little bit longer, but I've got some shit that I need to get done and get organized before I do take this phone call. Hopefully, I can get my shit sorted out. We will be back next week for another breakdown of episode 5 of The Bad Batch. I think it's episode 5 just next week, and then the following week is episode 6 and 7 as a double header episode or week. But thank you, everyone, for being here. Who's doing the Jack Show? Let me just have a look. Depends if they've actually set it up yet. It's on Cecil's channel. I'm going to put the link in the chat. There it is there. Beautiful. Go over, give him a rhino raid. That'd be awesome. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Thanks to all the members. Episode 5. That's right. Episode 5 next week. Hey, Mozza. Hey, man, we got to play some fucking Helldivers. What a fucking sick game that is. Everyone, thank you again for being here. Thanks to the members. Thanks for the super chats. Small amount of super chats, but thank you for those. I appreciate it nonetheless. Let me just check my Streamlabs just in case. No, we're all good there. You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. Here every week. We've got a good 40, 45 people roughly. Yes, so good. It is so good. So fucking good. But yeah, we will see you all next week for another Casual Rage. And obviously keep your eye out for my review. And like I said, I'm hopefully either going to just make a new video. I probably will just clip it out actually of this stream. Just the thing on that pronoun stuff that we were talking about earlier. That should be, I want to make that into a video because, you know, just getting that out there really. Mike Hill for his 27-month member chat. Dude, that's a long fucking time, dude. Massively appreciated. Says, according to CBR, Project Necromancer will fix one of the problems from the Rise of Skywalker, of course. And one of those problems is the Palpatine return. And it ain't going to fix shit. It ain't going to fix shit, CBR. You're kidding yourself. Kidding yourself. And you can't fix Luke Skywalker. You can't put the shit back in the ass. Anyway, thank you everyone for being here. We will see you next week. Let me play you out with some outros and some shit here. We got to do this, obviously. Obviously. Oh, let me... Hang on, sorry. Let me prepare myself. All right, beautiful. Bye, guys. See you next week.
Fuck, man. It's connecting into the sequels.
Put a ticket in and make her name it gay!
They came bounding over.
Fuck off! Disney! You fucking cunt!
A few minutes? Are you kidding? At the rate they're gaining?
No, what is it? You have to shoot this. Traveling through hyperspace is like Dustin Crop's kid. Without precise calculations, we fly too close to a store. They're bounce into a supermarket and then...
Yeah.
It'd be a hell of a mess.
What's that?
Watch. You're losing the deflector shields. Go strap yourselves in. Be careful on the way out.
Yeah, sure. I'm taking very caution.
You... Go away!
We bounced too near a supermarket?